Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, it gets very serious. We have B. Dusty, best NBA player from every NBA team ever. Tier list maker, man. So I have no doubt in my mind that B. Dusty and his tier has every single team's GOAT player represented. No doubt about it, man. No arguments will even be made right here, okay? Let's go ahead and get going on this. If you do like these tier ranking videos, I may ask if you please leave a like on the video. And, of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel, my friend. Also, it's pretty cool, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, they're like little magnets. Lebron James of presumably the Cleveland Cavaliers. Man, S tier. Come on now, man. LeBron James, top 2 player of all time. Some might even say the GOAT. I'd like to see his entire story, unfold before I give that. Next up, we got Ray Allen of the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, the great Ray Allen. Yes, definitely greater than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, no doubt, man. So Ray Allen, sexy jump shot, man. Probably the sexiest jump shot of all time. I really liked him in the Seattle Supersonic days. I will say that when I think of like top shooting guards of all time, my order is typically MJ, Kobe. I say Dwayne Wade, James Harden, Iverson, man. Iverson doesn't have a ring, but James Harden got to get to the finals, right? So that, and probably Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, guys like that after that, man. So I'm gonna say Ray Allen, A tier, man, A tier. Dwayne Wade. So LeBron James very well could be the guy for the Miami Heat, but Dwayne Wade was there longer and won more rings to the team and everything. I think the first ring that he got, what was it, back in 06, I believe it was. Extremely important, just for his overall legacy and commitment to the Miami Heat franchise. One of my favorite players of all time. S tier, man, S tier. Next up, we got Jason Kidd. So Jason Kidd, I like him as a point guard. I will say that he used to do this thing at the free throw line where he would lick his fingers and then blow a kiss, which would not hold up very well in today's world. And it was always kind of gross back then too, man. Like, imagine how sweaty, all them sweaty hands on the basketball, you're licking your fingers. Like, that's enough sodium intake for one day, probably after the first quarter, man. So, yeah, I like Jason Kidd, though, but, man, he's, A tier point guard for sure. Okay, next up, we got Dikembe Mutombo. So, Mutombo's a great player, known for his defense and stuff like that, man. The finger wag was goated. I personally would not say he is the greatest player in Hawks history. I would have to say that's Dominique Wilkins. C tier. As far as GOATs go, man. As far as GOATs go, he's fine, man. He's fine. All right, next up we got Larry Legend. So Larry Legend, every time I watch more highlights of this dude, I just get more and more impressed, like, with what he did back in the day. Just as far as even adding like flashiness to the game alongside Magic Johnson and everything like that, man. So yeah, I got to go with S tier for Larry Legend, no doubt. All right, next up we got Larry Johnson. So Larry Johnson, pretty similar to Zion Williamson. Freakish athlete, could jump out of the building. Injuries, health, couldn't really ever get it going, man. I think he had more potential to even live up to. So for that reason, I got to give him a D tier, man. A D tier. You might even say Kemba Walker is the GOAT of the Charlotte Hornets now, man. All right, next up we got AI, Allen Iverson. So Iverson, just like pound for pound, man. Like, just talking about him, stuff like that. Like, this dude brought so much culture to the game and just left this legacy beyond the basketball court. But even on the basketball court, with how the game's played, how you add style and everything like that, man. Allen Iverson, he's a GOAT. S tier, man. And I'm really sorry he never got a championship ring. I really wish he would have got one. Because I know, man, like Iverson, I just wish he had that. I just wish he had that ring and everything. But I think Embiid and Harden is going to bring one to Philly, and that's going to make Iverson happy. Next up, we got Michael Jordan. Come on now. Do I really even need to even talk more about him, man? Next up, we got Patrick Ewing. Ain't nothing gross about this man. Let me throw an ugly-ass shot back or something, no doubt about it. B tier GOAT. He's cool, man. He's cool. But he's above average. Next up, we got VC Vinsanity. Okay, so as far as like Toronto's go, I would probably actually say it's Kyle Lowry. So But Vince Carter was really cool, but he didn't really have like the longevity with the Raptors that maybe I would have liked to see. B tier probably for that. But that's kind of the same case as like Ray Allen then though, isn't it? Because Ray Allen like wasn't with the Bucks forever. A tier. Steph Curry, S tier. I mean, like we are like watching literal history every single day, and every single time we watch Steph Curry play basketball. Gotta get that Finals MVP. Not the most important thing in the world, but it'd be nice for him to get one. And I think he will get one before his career ends. Next up, we got the big ticket man, Kevin Garnett. Okay, so Kevin Garnett was kind of like the beginning of like the stat padding big man for the T-Wolves. You know, you had KG, then he went to the Celtics, Al Horford did it for a little bit, then Kevin Love, then Karl-Anthony Towns, although the T-Wolves are playing good now and everything. But, you know, we ended up leaving that team to go get a ring on the Boston Celtics. I'm going to give him a B tier, man. It would have been nice if he would have brought one there, but at the same time, you know, I think his best player was like Trenton Hassel and Sam Cassell, which Sam Cassell was cool and everything, but you ain't going to win a championship with Sam Cassell. All right, next up, Sam Cassell got a ring. Could have been a hot take or a bad take, I guess. We got Miller Killer, Reggie Miller, one of my favorite players of all time. I know he was on the Pistons' rival Indiana Pacers. I do not care. He's one of my favorite players of all time. He is fantastic, man. Like, I personally like Reggie Miller as a commentator. I don't know how people feel about that, but I like Reggie. I love listening to him talk about the game of basketball. A tier. Next up, we got CP3. I'm gonna lie, man. Like, I would have liked to see CP3 maybe represent the Pelicans in this case. But I mean, the Clippers is cool. Yeah, the Clippers don't really got too many franchise players. Like, they had Make-A-Do, I believe, was a dude. They had Make-A-Dude was a dude. You know, Blake Griffin, CP3. CP3, I'm going to say, is pretty A tier, though. He's pretty A tier. Dirk Nowitzki, S tier. Winning that champion. And as you can see right here, man, like, with the exception of Iverson, I'm definitely, like, lean towards, you know, guys that brought their franchise a ring. I mean, yeah, that's kind of like what... I would say that's pretty accurate, man, for the most part here, But now, Dirk Nowitzki, oh, that championship we got against the Miami Heat, that was amazing. Like, I love his fadeaway and everything, man. Love Dirk Nowitzki. Next up, we got Alex English. Alex English. Ah, man, okay, F tier, I can't say your name. I speak English, and I cannot say Alex English. I would say he's pretty forgotten about as far as, like, GOATness players go. I would probably even say Carmelo Anthony deserves this spot, but Alex English was good in his day. Pretty C-tierish, though. Pretty C-tierish. Next we got John Morant. John Morant probably is the greatest Grizzly already, isn't he? Because, like, they had, like, Marc Gasol and Pau Gasol, but neither one of those guys ever had seasons as good as John Morant's doing right now. It's too early to tell, really, but I'm going to give him, like, a B tier in it, man, because I feel like he is the perfect representation you know, of that Grizzlies grit and grind culture that's always been there, man, with his ability to get to the paint and stuff like that and be the point guard, but still play and dominate like any of the, you know, forwards in the NBA or, you know, big dudes that can use their body to get to the basket. So I'm going to give him B tier for now, man. Next, we got Kareem on the Lakers. S tier. Shaquille O'Neal on the Magic. He didn't get a ring, did he, man? It was the one dude that missed the free throw. Was it Derek? I believe it was Derek, wasn't it, man? Derek, I believe. Shaquille O'Neal, though, still an S tier. Isaiah Thomas, S tier, man. Leader of the bad boys, man. Next up, we got Hibachi, Gilbert Arenas. I don't know if Gilbert Arenas is like the greatest wizard of all time. I would probably say that's Elvin Hayes, I believe his name is. But, you know, Gilbert Arenas is one of my favorite point guards of all time. I literally think he was like Steph Curry, Damian Lillard before those dudes were in the NBA. Like, I feel like Hibachi, Agent Zero, you know, paved the way, man. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, man. Paved the way. Obviously, so got guys like, who was that one dude on the Nuggets, man? Was that Sharif Abdul-Rahim? I think his name was. I may be thinking of somebody else. But, you know, just like those big body point guards that can knock it down. But as far as franchise player go, you're pretty S tier, man. But I love you. I love you, Gilbert. Anthony Davis, as far as a franchise player goes, very unaccomplished. I like AD. But between injuries and just, I don't know, man, never really being like a great leader out there. I think he was pretty D tier for the Pelicans. I recognize he put up numbers. Numbers don't always lead to success, though, right? Next up, we got C-Web, Chris Webber. C-Web, I'd probably say Oscar Robertson, but, you know, Michigan fan, go blue, C-Web, all about it. Yeah, pretty D tier, though. I would say Tim Duncan, the fundamental, the pillar of winning, the pillar of success, S tier, no doubt. Karl Malone, on the court, you were pretty good. I'll give you like a F tier. Russell Westbrook, I would say Kevin Durant, C tier. B tier, man. You know, I know we didn't really win anything over there, but you get to the finals the one time with KD and James Harden. Triple-double season was still pretty cool. I'm going to give him a B tier. James Harden on the Houston Rockets. I got to give it a B tier. You know, we witnessed some of the greatest individual basketball play of all time, but it didn't really lead anything. But I would say B tier for that. And then we got Clyde Drexler. I like Clyde, man. He'd be a B tier, man, but no real reason beyond that. I don't know. I kind of like also have Drexler like in like those dudes where it's like, okay, like I recognize your greatness, but I also recognize there's other great players better than you out there, man. But I would say overall, this is pretty accurate. This is pretty accurate. That's all we got for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.